This episode of the BJJ Foxcast is brought to you by Biopro. Biopro is an all-natural alternative to prescription human growth hormone, which aids in recovery, anti-aging, metabolism, libido, immunity, skin health, cognition, sleep, and stress. Just one vial per day provides a substantial boost to all of these growth factors. Okay, so that's what they want me to say. Here's what I know as an aging grappler. I've been using Biopro Plus and the nighttime variant, Biopro Plus Cortisleep, for several months, and it feels like I've grown a third lung. My gas tank is noticeably bigger, my recovery is faster, and I'm back on the mats much quicker, not just between training sessions, but between rounds. Now you can get $30 off your first order of Biopro when you use the code FOXCAST at www.bioproteintech.com. That's code FOXCAST for $30 off your first order at www.bioproteintech.com. Thank you, Biopro. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the BJJ Foxcast. I am your host, Alex Martinez, and today I have a good friend of mine, Dee Cardoso, on the show. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm well. Dee is a brown belt, and he trains and teaches over with me at Aries East Mesa BJJ, and I'm super excited to have you on the show, man. Tell me about, how long have we been talking about this?
Quite some time, like a few months.
Yeah.
A few months.
Yeah,
and
man.
You told me, oh, I'm going to have you. Then stuff happened. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you're here, man. So let's talk about coaching. One thing that we do at the academy is we have coaches training pretty often. Sometimes I feel like I'm asking too much of the coaches sometimes for their time, you know? But I feel like in order to get on the same page collectively, I think it's super important that we meet.
100%.
Yeah, let's lift the microphone a little bit, like right in your face, almost blocking your face.
There you go.
Yeah, let me see, a little bit more. That's
Right
much better. Yeah.
No, I think it's really, really good. And even for us coaches, on when we having like those privates with all 6, 7, 8 of us, It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like even today when Patrick was showing those slightly details, so those slick details on those moves, It's awesome.
Yeah.
And do the preparation for the week, for the next 2 weeks, what we're going to be training on. It's awesome. And that just show how committed we are with our students.
Yeah.
Like the preparation that we are doing before and it's awesome. And we've been doing this like for the last, actually, it's almost 1 year for me now.
Yeah.
That you invited me to coach. And having those weekends has been game-changing, even in the preparation for the classes, how we're going to be doing things and what we should be covering from fundies to mixed levels.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's really helpful.
Yeah, I really like to get to a point where like our fundamentals class is complementing the mixed levels class. Instead of separate curriculums, like they almost like expand on one another. But the only issue I see is like we do the fundies curriculum for a week at a time. So maybe if we did it 2 weeks, you know, that might be a little bit better. But for now, I think we have a good formula because I'm finding that the people that are coming from our fundamentals to our mixed levels groups, they're not lost. You know, they're pretty solid. You know, the only ones I'm really concerned about is the folks that are coming from, you know, off the couch and can only do mixed levels classes.
Yes. Although like for us in the morning, like the class that I teach, 6 a.m., for you to go to 6 a.m., you have to be a different breed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, right away.
Yeah.
So it's almost the people off the couch, they don't show up at 6 a.m. I don't know why, but we barely have those. And the few guys we had from Warrior Challenge, they had another gear right away. But like you said, yeah, those people that are coming off the couch. But the other thing that you mentioned, we are just doing now, like eventually just a week for each move.
Yeah.
Maybe the 2 weeks, even for them, is going to be better because they're going to be able to have the first contact with a move on the first week.
Yeah.
Then on the second week is when they are really efficient on the move.
Yeah.
Instead of this week we are doing rear naked. Now next week they don't see rear naked again until,
right.
And by Friday is when they getting like the groove on the move,
Yeah.
eventually, if they have another week of it, that might be
Yeah.
a good tweak on the current curriculum that we have for the fundies.
Yeah. And when you have somebody come in new and, you know, maybe the people that have been doing it for a week can kind of help them, you know, catch up pretty quick. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we got to look at when it comes to that. But I think the direction that we're going and the staff that we're putting together, coaching staff and admin staff that we're putting together, man, it's going to be, it's getting to a point where I'm excited already, but it's going to be like next level. I mean, just imagine this team together in 6 months and 8 months and a year and 2 years. It's going to be an amazing team.
No, the growth of the academy on the last 6 months, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And 6 months, I remember we have conversations on the side and you're like, Dee, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I told you at the time, like, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, the good, the bad, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've been learning lately is doesn't matter how bad it is, what's happening in our lives, we have always to find a good lesson from what's happening.
100%. Yeah.
Like one of my mentors, William Lamb, he always says this: what can I learn from this? Doesn't matter what's happening in your life.
Yeah.
What can I learn from this?
Yeah.
And for you, not having the different safeties in place, you saw what you had to learn.
Oh, and it was quick. And I had to do it quick.
Right?
Yeah.
It's awesome having one person taking care of everything until it's not.
Yeah. 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 And you know, I've been traveling a little bit past couple of months.
You can now.
But you know, I don't like it. I don't like being away. But one thing I will tell you is being away shows me the gaps in my game. And by game, I mean in my business game. Because like, well, I mean, let's take, for example, the Google phone, the Google Voice. It only goes to my phone.
Cannot be.
And I'm, you know, 1,000 miles away and I'm taking calls and having to relay. So that's a gap. That's a gap that I got to fill, right? And little things like that. That's a minor one because I mean, do I get 1,000 phone calls? No, but I do get few, right? And people are really, really polite as to what time they call. They're not. But it's just the nature of the beast, man. But no, like things like that is like, okay. And I write them down. Got to fill this gap. Got to fill that gap. But whenever I get like negative on myself, whenever I start coming down on myself, there's something that I think it might have been like, who was it, man? Like Tony Robbins or somebody. But they said, you have to ask yourself, like, what do I have to believe in order for that to be true? Right? Am I stupid? Nah, I'm not stupid. I'm uneducated in a lot of things, but I'm not stupid.
None of us are stupid.
Right.
None of us.
Do I have the ability to learn? Yes. Right. Do I have the time? Yeah, I got time, you know, and you have to start believing that, okay, yes, I can do this because, right? Not, oh my gosh, I'm so full of motivation. I can do this and have no plan, right? You got to have a plan.
And normally that's exactly where the problems with the self-development things start. Everything that we do or we don't do is tied to beliefs and values that were passed to us.
Yeah.
And you know when they were...
Say more about that.
You know when they were passed to us?
When we were little?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Between 0 years and 7 is when most of our beliefs and values are defined.
Wow.
The next phase is between 7 and 14. At that time, you barely have any kind of control of what you are soaking in or what you are learning or what you are believing in. And to be even more drastic, what you are right now is not just those first 14 years, are the past generations that passed from your great-great-great-great-father, great-great-great, and came down from the learnings. They passed down, and then they came down to you. So when we think that, oh, I'm Alex Martinez because I am this way, I want to be this way. No. Those things have been passed down to us by generations.
Yeah.
Beliefs and values.
Yeah.
And if we're not aware of this, like most of us, we're not able to break the boundaries on those things.
Yeah.
And then we start believing things that they were not really our beliefs, but they were passed down.
Can you give me an example of something that is true for you?
Oh yeah, simple. Life is hard. Having money is hard. You have to do a lot of sacrifices. My mom, she worked hard. Like, I'm originally from Portugal, from a neighborhood, like tough neighborhood. So my mom never let me out and go out and have fun with the other kids. Always safety, because of my safety. My father came to US when I was 2 years old, so I was just me and her. Then she had to be very extra protective. And she always worked hard, like nothing. I had everything, but to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And all of those teachings, like life is hard, money doesn't come from the trees.
Yeah.
I'm starting to sinking in those, everything has to be hard. Everything has to be hard. And now I've been learning to change that programming. Life doesn't need to be hard. Life is easy. Even that is another one that we see everywhere, the hero's journey. What is the hero's journey? If you see all movies, 100% of the movies goes like this. The hero's journey starts good, then he needs to learn something, then he needs to struggle, really struggle.
Yeah.
Then he's going to succeed. And now in your life, you start seeing that how many times you had things easy for you in your business or never?
Zero.
I'm
still waiting for a boring month. I want one boring month.
Yeah. And then when you have the good, yes. Then you are already expecting the bad.
Yeah. And there's times when, I know this is going to sound terrible, but when the negativity in my brain will start growing. It's like mold, right? And then you get to a point, and this is going to be, you're my therapist right now, but where you get to a point where you're like, do I deserve this good stuff? Like, have I done, like, am I a good enough person? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you start doubting yourself, as a person.
The energy that you are putting in thinking, do I deserve this? If you change it, why not?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I deserve
Why
this?
not me?
Why not me?
Yeah.
Others, less skilled, less resourceful,
less great looking.
They done it. They keep on doing it.
Yeah.
Why not me?
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of Alex Hermosi.
Alex is amazing.
He's amazing. I just got turned on to him like less than a year ago. But what he does, like all of that to do gym launch and everything, is exactly what I do. So when I study him, it's exactly what we're doing. So I mean, it's like a master class of what I'm already doing, and I can kind of clean up a lot of things just by listening to him, right? And the way he went from, I mean, he started at a very young age, and he was like very in tune to what his strengths were at a very young age, I think, right? And a person in his 20s, 23, understanding that, no, I could do more.
That's awesome.
That's so rare, man. Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, right? But now, he went from a gym owner to losing everything, right? To launching the gym launch thing, to almost losing everything there, to now, a company that does, a couple $100 million a year.
And that just goes to, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We are capable of do amazing things.
Yeah.
But then there is another thing that we lose. I think starts at age 7 or 8, 9. We stop dreaming. If you see the kids when they go to daycare at that age, and I want to be this, I want to do that, then they start going to school, and things starts to get blocked, chopped. Like, you have to be in this box.
Yeah.
And our school system, for the good, has something less good, that they take our capacity of dreaming.
You think that's done on purpose?
Yeah, it's done on purpose.
Why?
Because the school system, if I'm not wrong on quoting, started with the Rockefellers and the industry age. They needed people not to think, but to execute.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Our school are preparing people to execute and not think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why we have this system the way it is. Would be amazing to have our kids use their imagination.
Yeah.
As simple as this. For us to send somebody to the moon, somebody had to imagine.
Yeah.
For you to build a bridge, you have to imagine first.
Didn't they call those people lunatics? The people that, early on, before there were rockets, and they're talking about going to the moon. Isn't that where that came from?
Yeah.
Lunatics? Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But you see, if we don't have the capacity of imagining better and best for us, how are we going to achieve better and best? If we don't have the capacity of imagine a better life for ourselves, how are we going to have better? That is another one that is like, a lot of people, they will believe it when they see it.
Those are the worst. Those are the worst.
It's see it to believe it.
See it to believe it.
See it to believe it.
Yeah.
Is the other way around.
Yeah.
You have to believe it, even if you don't have it. Doesn't matter whatever it is in your life.
Yeah.
Believe it drastically. Don't feel it that you already have it.
Yeah.
Then you'll see it, and not see it to believe it.
Right. Yeah.
And this is just to tie up to when I was young and my mom saying all of these things. Before I know it, now sometimes things are going not so good in my life. And then, why? Because when I was 10 years old, my mom was telling me, life is hard. Things doesn't come easy.
This is supposed to happen.
This is supposed to happen.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. Okay.
So now the things that are going good now, and then our subconscious mind is very accustomed to the known, familiar.
Yeah.
They love to be in familiar situations, things that already happened to you.
Yeah, because it's comforting, right? There's some comfort level to that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, since most of us had some tough upbringing, easily we go back to that.
Wow. Yeah.
And this happens in not just in business, relationship. A lot of times people have a bad partner and they go from bad partner to bad partner. Doesn't matter whatever. It's just what they know. Their subconscious mind is giving them that.
Wow.
They don't know better.
Yeah.
And when you start this journey of like self-development, they don't really talk about this.
Yeah.
And you can read then all the books that you want. And if you don't touch on these subjects on your subconscious level, you're not going to change who you are. Doesn't matter how many books you read.
How do you get to that point where you're working at a subconscious level, not a conscious level?
So first you need to be aware of it. And most of us, we are not, but I just came aware of this part because I give you a quick glimpse on my entrepreneurial journey. 2018, when I moved to Cali from Jersey, a friend of mine his wife and him, they were doing some MLM network.
Multi-level marketing?
Multi-level marketing.
Yep.
And the good and the bad that system is, I think there is much more good than bad. They require you to read books, period. And one of the first books that they told me to read before even go to the meeting was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I started reading the book and I'm like, whoa. Oh, I can be a millionaire without winning the jackpot. I can be successful without having parents with a lot of money. I can become somebody. That's my starting point. Then I start reading a lot of books. Then I start different side business, side gigs. But this year, there was a book that really changed things. They clicked. The power of subconscious mind. Joseph D. Murphy. And he talks about this like extensively. That we have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, you can see it as like an engine of a boat, like a big cruise.
Okay.
Then you have the captain.
Yep.
Right? And the captain is the one that guides the boat to wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
The subconscious is just the engine. It's going to drive you wherever you want to go. But all of the engine work is your subconscious mind.
Wow.
So whatever you feed to your subconscious mind is where it's going to take you. Most of the time, we are thinking on the worst outcome of any situation. What do you think is going to happen?
I try not to, man. I really try not to. Like for example, whenever a new hire, we bring somebody on, and I get all of these people like, oh, I don't like the way he does this, or you know what, she did this, not my thing, or I don't like this, I don't like that. I try to switch that up, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to catch them doing something right. And I'm not going to stop watching what they're doing until I catch them doing something right. And as soon as I catch them doing something right, I walk over and I compliment them on that. Because I really believe that, number one, they're uncomfortable in a new environment. There's no way to walk in and be like, own the room, right? You're a little self-conscious, right? And when somebody says, hey, I noticed you did this, that was really cool. You're like, oh, okay. And they build on that. And they build on something else. So, yeah. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I really try to find people doing the right thing at any point, because you can make 100 mistakes. When you do something right, you can build off of that. But
sometimes it's easy to do that with some other people. When it comes to ourselves, we are hard on ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we are hard on ourselves.
I didn't think about that. I'm pretty tough on myself.
How many times do you? Good job, Alex. You did an amazing job. Good job, Alex. You are running an amazing academy in like 3 years. You've been very successful.
You know what my biggest problem is my whole life is I'm always thinking about the next thing.
You can, and you should.
Yeah, but I don't enjoy the moment.
That's the thin line where we need to enjoy the present.
And I think that's where you're talking about, say, great job, Alex.
Great job.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like looking back to connect the dots. I am where I'm supposed to be, where I'm going next, but I'm enjoying where I am right now. I'm grateful for what I have right now.
Yeah.
So just tying back on the book will really teach you all of these amazing things of our subconscious mind, how it's controlling. Then for me, there is this guy, my mentor, William Lamb. Even right now, he has something called Upgrade Launch, where you have somebody talking to you, to your subconscious mind through NLP language, neuro-linguistic programming.
Yeah.
It's just freaking mind-blowing.
Is it like recording?
Yes, recording.
So you're listening to a recording, someone talking to your subconscious mind.
Yeah. Wow. Even hypnotherapy, before I go to bed, I have a 35 minutes, like 3-hour recording. You can achieve whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then I have different recordings, like for wealth, for fitness, for confidence.
Are you talking to yourself? Did you record that yourself, or is there somebody else's voice?
That's the next level.
Whoa.
Right now, I'm only listen.
Yeah.
But with this amazing studio, I would do that in the blink of an eye.
You are welcome to use the studio anytime you want. You're my boy, dude. You can. That's not for everybody.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start talking to yourself while you're sleeping, because then just going even deeper on the rat roll that we already started.
Yeah.
You have the alter state. You have alpha, beta, and gamma.
Mm-hmm.
And normally gamma or beta is the one that we are sleeping, but we're not really sleeping. We can feed stuff to our subconscious mind.
Is that the best time to do it?
That's the best time.
Okay.
That's the best time. There is no doors blocking. It's free.
Free. Yeah.
It's even a lot of times, if you remember, you are watching a movie, war movie, or you're watching the news at 11 p.m., then you go to bed. What you think you're going to put in your subconscious mind?
Oh, garbage. All of it's garbage. Yeah.
Now, if you change that to read a nice book or listen to some good stuff, what you think is going to do while you are dreaming?
I'm sure it'd be way more positive. Yeah. Way more positive than that Ted Bundy documentary I saw the other night. Talk about bad dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. And even for me, sometimes I'm watching a movie with my wife. We're watching the movie. Then you go to bed, and at least one of the things that I stopped doing since the elections, like in 2020, I stopped watching the news. I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I just don't.
You know, I was talking to Amy about this the other day, and I just can't do it, man. I can't watch the news. Here's the thing. I don't care what news TV station you watch. It's all BS. And
all BS.
I told Amy, I said, I believe that there's a guy named Joe Biden, and I believe there's a guy named Donald Trump, and I don't believe any of the other shit they tell me.
Bingo.
That's it. I believe they exist, right? But I don't believe anything they tell me. And it's so sad because like what did Denzel Washington say? He said if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. If you watch the news, you're misinformed.
You're misinformed.
So it's lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But so how is let's go back a little bit because I want to tie this in to what to our main subject. But how did you find jiu-jitsu? How did that come about? Because you went from Portugal. Was it Portugal, New Jersey, California, Arizona?
Yes.
See, I listen.
Yes.
How old were you when you went to New Jersey?
So 2008, when I finished my master's in Portugal in systems electronics degree in Portugal, I started working as a telecom engineer.
Oh, okay.
2000, and best job you can think. You finish your college degree, and they tell you, "I'm gonna pay you a boatload of money, and you're gonna travel around the world."
Awesome. Now, was it one of those engineers where you're like in jeans and and rolling up your sleeves and getting into stuff, or was it like more of a desk type of engineer?
No, not desk. At the time, I would go like to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and I would be doing tests for WiMAX. So I go to a car, and we drive around with the laptops and with the signal to evaluate the signal, like then do some tests on throughput and quality. And I would stay there for 1 month. Then I go to a different location.
Whoa, that's
so
cool.
Romania, Dominican Republic for
nice
3 months.
Oh, my
Malaysia
God.
for 6 months.
I wouldn't have come back from the Dominican Republic. Am I at that age? I would have not come back. No way.
Was awesome. was good. Then from there I went to Malaysia, 6 months in Southeast Asia.
Wow.
A dream.
Yeah.
And I wasn't by myself. With another 5 Portuguese guys.
Oh, that's
5 to 8.
That's crazy, dude.
Travel around, make good money, be in hotels.
Yeah. Do you speak other languages?
So I speak Portuguese. My original language is Portuguese, and my parents are from Cape Verde. So we have our own dialect that is Creole. Like it's similar to the Creole from.
Is it like the South somewhere?
Yes,
Louisiana.
No. The islands. French Creole.
French Creole. Yeah.
Portuguese Creole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I speak that one. I speak Portuguese, then English.
Is it? How far apart is it from the Portuguese they speak in Brazil?
So the Portuguese they speak in Brazil is like the British and American.
Okay.
But actually, no, it's exactly the same problem. You as an American, you go to the north of England, you're not going to be able to understand them.
Gotcha.
Period.
Yeah.
Brazilians, normally, if I'm speaking to them at my regular speed that I speak in Portuguese, they're going to be like, can you slow down?
Oh, okay.
And if you are from Rio or São Paulo, you are okay. Now from other places, it's going to be harder.
Yeah.
But for us from Portugal, because we have the telenovelas, the soap operas, we are very accustomed to the Portuguese from Brazil, so it's easy for us. But for them, not so much. Even my wife was telling me there is a new soap opera or series in Brazil with Portuguese and Brazilian.
Mm.
You know what they're doing to the Portuguese guys? They are dubbing.
No kidding.
They are dubbing. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of that in Spanish also. Like, I used to have I probably still do. I used to have a really good ear for dialects. Like I could tell somebody was from Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. Dominican Republic is a little bit harder to catch because they speak, it's very, in a lot of ways, it's very proper, but it's not, I hate to say it's like not, they don't speak as fast as they do in Puerto Rico, but if they were to slow it down, it'd be almost identical. The same dialect. Cuban's very different. Mexico, depending on where you are, right? Northern part or southern part of Mexico. Yeah. So what I love about the love languages like Mexico, Spanish and those in Mexico was how efficient it is. You know, they combine several words in a sentence into one word. You know what I mean? Like for instance, the most common one that I can think of is in English when you say, let's go for a walk. right? That took 30 seconds to say, right? And then in Spanish, we would say caminemos. It's one word.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's go for a walk, right? So I love it because it's very efficient. Anyway, there's a lot of words like that I love.
Although there is no more efficient language to be spoken around the world than English. The easiness of like, I'm not born and raised in US.
Right.
I can speak decent English.
Really well.
Right?
Yeah.
But the chair in English is the chair.
Yeah.
In Spanish or Portuguese or in French, can be feminine, can be masculine, can be so many. And for you to like speak regular Portuguese might take you a few years.
Yeah.
If you're not from the Middle East, even from east of Europe, from English to Portuguese, you are for an awakening.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Even Spanish to Portuguese, it's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, there's also like nasally sounds that you make, things like that we don't typically
in Portuguese, we have João. João. The American cannot say João for dear life. So when you see the Brazilians, like in Brazilian tournament saying João,
right.
It's just João because that nasal
Yep.
sound. But then the same goes for, there are words in English that I just cannot say it.
Yeah.
Like the H, Henry. Henry. No. Henry. I'm
Right.
like, okay.
Yeah. Whatever, man.
So travel around the world. Then this until 2010.
Okay.
Then in 2010, I came to Jersey for just a month to work on LTE, long-term evolution, the 4G that you see on your phone. Myself and a friend
I
of
never
mine,
knew what that stood for.
Yeah,
LTE.
long-term evolution.
I got it now.
Yeah, instead of the 4G. I was supposed to stay just a month. And just to make this even crazier, my father came, and when I was 18, he applied for his nationality. At that same year that he got it, I was already 18, so I couldn't get the nationality, but I could get my green card.
Okay.
So, but I just came and I left. And when you are abroad, you can ask to be abroad with your green card for 2 years, and then you can have another extension.
Okay.
Or 4 years, something like that.
Is it just one extension you get?
Is 1 or 2.
Okay.
In 2008, I was at the end of my extension. I have to come to the country. But again, the world, the destiny, the universe works in a very different, very strange way sometimes. I came to the US, I stayed 1 month, and at the time, my boss, Hamid Taraf, he said, "You guys not going nowhere. You guys are staying here."
Oh, okay.
Because before he was having people coming from abroad, get the knowledge, and bounce.
Split. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. They would come, they called on-job training. So we would come, learn about LTE, then we would go to other places in the world to test and evaluate LTE, because with the technology, like right now we are already working on 5G. Then not even 5G, 6G, the next generation. So it's 10 years before. The LTE that we are working on now and is very mature, I started working on it in 2010.
Wow.
So you see 10 years, and even right now they're talking about 5G, but in reality, we're not ready for 5G. We are just really fully using 4G. And most of the times, they just is a ripoff. When you see that 5G, no, you're really using 4G at full capacity. But yeah. But yeah, then we stayed for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. I said, I'm not going nowhere. Now I'm counting for my American passport.
Nice.
After 4 years, I can get my American passport.
And is that where you become a nationalized citizen and do all that? Okay.
All that.
Yeah.
And by being in the US and with this arrangement from my company in Portugal, because then the funny thing, I was a contractor for my Alcatel-Lucent in Portugal. Then Alcatel-Lucent Portugal would sell my services to Alcatel-Lucent US.
Oh, wow. Okay. Smart.
They were smart.
Yeah.
And when I saw how much money Alcatel-Lucent Portugal was making from Alcatel-Lucent, when I saw one of the bosses that I had at the time was very nice, and he showed us. I was like, "Gee, really? I'm worth all of that, and I'm not really receiving a tenth of."
Yeah,
like it's an amazing business model.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
That the inside bigger corporations, the way that they are doing with the money, cycling it through different. And I would go to Portugal every 2 to 3 months. So it was a really sweet deal.
Yeah.
In one of those trips, one of my very good friend, Miguel Rodrigues, he's been doing Jiu Jitsu since I was 14. That's when he started. And he would say, "Dee, let's go, let's do it." At the time, 25 years in Portugal, a boatload of money. And my mom would be like, "Dude, chill out. Go play soccer." So I played soccer.
Yeah.
And this
Were you any good? Were you any good at soccer?
Medium.
Yeah.
I was medium.
It's so hard to be good there. It's so hard because you could be great and not make a team.
Or depends on the environment that you are.
Yeah.
So with my buddies at school, I was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was playing with my team, my local team, until I was like 14, 15, I was good, not great anymore. Then when I did some tryouts with one of the best teams in Portugal at the time, the best team, I was mediocre.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
And then when it was time to go to the college, I was like, go to college, forget about soccer, just play recreational books.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this guy, he's been doing it forever now. And now he's already a black belt. 2014, in the summer, when it was? February or January. Finally, after him bugging me, "Dude, try jiu-jitsu."
Yeah.
I went and I tried it.
Yeah.
He just laid on top of me.
Yeah.
I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. Steven, I'm going to send you the photo of baby D in a white belt, and we're gonna put that
9
up.
years ago.
We're gonna put that up because it's pretty wild because when I look at somebody like seasoned, jiu-jitsu guy, it's hard for people that haven't been doing this long to believe that we were where they are now. You know what I mean? Like,
and most of the times worse.
Worse. Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I think I started coming up. We started coming up when the YouTube was actually getting pretty decent.
Yeah.
Before that, YouTube was garbage, and all they had. Well, I'm talking about the techniques that people would share, but and then they, like, I'm talking about Paul Nava and those guys. They were doing like magazines and VHS tapes, and learn. You know what I mean? So I mean, people coming up now, they've got it good. They've got it really good. BJJ Fanatics.
BJJ what? So went, Miguel just destroyed me without doing anything.
Yeah.
Then I said, okay, I need to learn this. As soon as I went back to Jersey, went to Google, okay, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools. Elijah Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Union, New Jersey. Went there, black instructor. I didn't even know, but made it even sweeter. I'm not really the kind of guy that looking all black or whatever, but functioned really well.
Yeah.
Started there, small gym, but like very like a brotherhood. And the guy at the time, Elijah, he was already 54, 55. And he was a black belt in Taekwondo. He was black belt in Muay Thai.
Love it.
Then later on was when he was one of the first Americans to get his Brazilian black belt. So he's a stud.
That's awesome.
So 55 years old, goes to the gym. He's doing deadliftings. He's doing hand press, whatever.
Yeah.
Then when it's time to roll, when you'd roll with him, wouldn't be 10 minutes. It's 20.
Oh.
Because he needs his time to
warm up.
Dude. Then he wouldn't take it easy on you.
Yeah.
And then our school wasn't that big, and we had a lot of black people. But just to tell you a little story on that school, initially it was all white guys.
Yeah.
When the younger comers, black guys, start to catch up.
Yeah.
One by one, start to leaving the school.
No way.
Not kidding.
Oh my gosh, that's
Angry Dave,
crazy.
Barkel, dude. Barkel, the guy that was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. He was cool.
He was amazing.
Yeah, I love the guy. Yeah, when is he coming back?
I have no idea because he's a nurse. So
He travels a lot.
He travels around.
Yeah.
So then I'm learning with these guys, and they are black like me, so it makes it even sweeter.
Yeah.
And now I'm learning with them. And Elijah, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, they had a way of rolling very tight, close to you. They're not giving you space.
Yeah.
And like aggressive in a way that they're going for it. They're not giving you any space. They are relentless. So my relentlessness that I got was from my early beginnings.
Love it. Yeah.
Then I just start falling in love with it. Then 2016, when my wife came to US in Jersey with my daughter, and at the time was like, I would go to work at 9. So I would go to weightlifting with her from 6 to 7. Then I would go to work 8 to 5. Then I come home. Sometimes I would go straight from work for the class 6 and 7.
Wow. 6 and 7?
6 and 7.
Ooh, that's a lot.
So, at the time, for me, it was normal, right?
Yeah,
because
same.
I used to that. Then I would have somebody sometimes not talking to me.
Yeah.
Being pissed or just giving me, because at the time she was not working and she would stay with the kid.
Yeah, that's tough.
With Yasmin.
Yeah.
So and Monday to Friday, this is what I used to do.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, I went to work. Now I'm going to Jiu Jitsu. Then I would come back at 8:15 and dinner is done. Everything is done.
Yeah.
Only years later, she was telling me that, dude, that was not cool.
Yeah.
That was not cool.
So, lesson learned, everybody. Marry an awesome girl first. Marry an awesome girl first and then start jiu-jitsu.
Or convince her to do
it. Yeah, man. It took Amy a little warming up to it. She started about a year after I did. And then she just was out of love with it for a while. And then she got back in. So, I mean, good on her to come back. That's hard.
No,
that's
it
really
is
hard to do.
So, was 2014 to 2018. So I got my blue belt with Elijah after 2 years, 18 months. 18 months was kind of quick. Then it comes the time to come to Cali. It was hard.
How did that happen?
So my wife did a little bit of inception. She's good. Guys, she's good.
Oh my God.
So she has a master's degree in human resources.
Okay.
So I thought she comes to US, it's going to be easy to find a job. She comes to US, Jersey. Come on. Jersey, New York. Everybody knows Portugal, right?
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Nah. She sent more than 150 resumes.
Holy crap.
More than 150. Nothing. Crickets. Or they would call her and, where? Portugal. Do they speak English? What is that? I'm talking English with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you better go to school again. Over and
my.
over. Then she started telling me a third-part story. And you, as a salesman that you are, you know that the best way to have somebody do something that you want is not telling them to do it directly.
Right.
You tell them a third-part story.
Yep.
So, babe, there is this couple where she was not able to find a job, but he was in finance at the time or whatever. And so for him, it was easy to find a job in a different place. But for her, it was easier to find a job in Cali. Then they moved to Cali and she went there and she got a job right away.
Wow.
Before I know it, what I'm doing.
Packing your shit and going to California.
I'm open. I'm looking for a job in Cali.
Yeah.
But telecommunications is a very weird industry. It's in pockets. The majority of the carriers like Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, they are in the East Coast. So for me, Cali didn't really make sense. Mm-hmm. So I would have to go to a different area to work on. And I was very comfortable with my telecommunications, just doing some lab work, some validations, voice over LTE. But then, again, this is the universe working perfectly for me. I see a job opening. Actually, not even a job opening. I'm applying for Amazon at the time, but nothing happened. Then a recruiter from Intel, they had something called Red Carpet Event, where it's a way to boost the minorities.
Okay.
So women's, Afro-Americans,
Yep.
whatever minority, they invite you and they do speed rounds interviews.
Oh, no shit.
They invite you, you go there to Santa Clara for 3 days. Everything is paid.
Wow.
The car, the food, the hotel. You just have to show up.
And what's a speed round interview? Is it like with many
1 hour.
people?
Yeah. So I send them my resume and they would send to the hiring managers. Then the hiring managers would see your resume. And if they like your resume, they would schedule a session with you on that day.
So is it like a conference area, like a conference
It's kind of
center,
a conference,
and,
yes.
you're just kind of waiting for your spot to open and you move around?
You already know the time that you are going in
Yeah.
and who you are meeting.
Wow, that's cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Because in IT nowadays, you are looking for minimum 5 hours minimum to 8 or 10 hours of speed 1 hour interviews with the teams. Full days.
Wow.
They are draining you.
Wow.
They are. And I was like, ugh. But for me on this one was like just 1 hour. 1-on-1, you have 1 hour to find out what I know, what I don't know.
Mm.
And I have 1 hour to sell myself.
Yeah.
For me, it was perfect. So this was almost this time of the year. Yeah. The December the 7th was when I went, of 2017 was when I went there. I got a letter of intent, an LOI. Then 3 days later, I got the formal offer.
Yeah.
But offers from Cali to New Jersey, they are tricky.
How come?
The amount of money that people make in Silicon Valley, it's ridiculous when you compare with any other place.
Anywhere.
Yeah. And one of the things that the recruiter said to me at the time was, please do your own due diligence, look at the numbers and see if the numbers make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's 6 figures high, medium high. Dude, of course that makes sense. What are you talking about? In Jersey, to make this amount of money, I would have to be senior.
Mm.
Although at the time I already had 7 years, but you would have to be 14 or 15 years in the business to do that kind of money.
Yeah.
Of course, I accept. Let's go. Before you know it, December 10th, I accept the offer. I pack everything. We send our stuff over. We go back to Portugal for vacations. Then when we come back, we go straight to Cali.
Mm.
That's how quick we moved.
Yeah.
Then we get to Cali. After 6 months, you start seeing, was a very decent paycheck.
Yeah.
But because
So you have no choice, but you got to be dual income out there, right? There's
You
no
have.
really choice.
So I was paying $3,000 for 2-bedroom apartment.
Holy shit, dude.
Plus daycare, $700.
Yeah. A week.
No,
month?
A month.
700.
No, not 700. I'm lying. What? I'm 1,700
$1,700 a month.
a month. This is
Holy
before
shit.
COVID. After COVID, went to 2,100 a month for daycare. Yeah. So now you start seeing this is going how I went to Cali.
Yeah.
But at the end and all, after being there for 3 months, my wife was able to get a job.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah.
And living Elijah Brazilian Jiu Jitsu at the time, when my last day, dude, I was in tears.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, man, the bonds that you
bonds,
create, yeah.
the bond that you create was like. Then I was like, I think I was 1 month away or 2 months away of getting my purple belt.
Wow. Oh, bummer.
Yeah, but at the time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move to a different school. They will see what I know, and
Yeah.
then I'm looking for a school in Jersey. Oh, funny story. When I went to the interview, there was fight to win in San Jose. But at the time, I was not a jiu-jitsu nerd like I am now right now.
Yeah.
You don't watch any of the tournaments.
No.
Dude, I'm waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be 29 matches. Starts at 1 p.m.
Wow.
The Crown. I'm going to watch all of it.
I might watch some of that.
Oh, the Crown.
There's a lot of really good jiu-jitsu.
So
a lot of really good deserving people are in that way. It's so cool to watch. Yeah.
When I'm coming back on the plane evening was the end of the fight to win, and Caio did fought on that tournament. So I was with I don't have my sweatshirt, Elijah Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and some of the people that went to see it, they thought I wasn't at the tournament, that I went on, they saw, who's that guy? Oh, no, Caio was amazing and this and that. And at the time, I didn't start looking for schools when I'm come back to San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back, there was a few schools. There was Triune BJJ. There was, of course, Caio. And at the time, my friend that introduced me to jiu-jitsu, initially, it was like, just speaking about Caio, this guy is like a mad scientist.
Yeah.
He's too much. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I'm starting looking at the schedules, and evening time wouldn't work in Cali. In Cali, anything that is above 5 miles, you are for an awakening in terms of traffic.
Yeah.
And rush hour, even worse. So my only option was training 6 a.m., 6:30. And Caio had that.
Caio was teaching it?
Not Caio, the Caio Terra Academy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Bunch of hours. So now I'm looking for a school there. Went there, and then I started with the evening class at the time. Was cool. Was nice. Was crowded. Was packed. I never saw so many people.
That's a great school.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
I was really kind of intimidated.
I'm sure.
My school was, in a good day, 12 people.
Wow.
In a good day.
Yeah.
Average 8.
Yeah.
Then I'm go to Caio Terra Academy. It's packed.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Then I start going in the morning. Oh, that was amazing.
Almost a private lesson?
Not a private lesson, but we at the time when I started, Vitor was already doing a great job. He started with 2-3 people.
He's a cool dude.
He's an amazing dude.
Yeah.
Like 1 year before, there were 2-3 people. People were having privates with Vitor. At the time, we were already, when I joined, 15 or 17. And it was amazing that I found my new family.
Yeah.
So, different vibe, but amazing. Because in Jersey, I used to train at the evening. Now I'm training at the morning, so I have time for a family after work.
Yeah.
And that
perfect.
was perfect.
Yeah.
My wife is happy.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
100%. Yeah.
So starting training in the morning with Vitor. And then I went 2 or 3 times in the evening, not in day. It feels like 2 different academies.
We were just talking about that at our coaches meeting on Thursday. And I had to mention it because like now that I'm able to like pick and choose like where I go and which classes I train. I mean, I teach in the evenings, but during the day I like to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the personalities that these different classes are developing, man. Like the morning class, psychos. 11:30 is kind of like, it's more of my laid back group, but like the roles are really tough. Steve is growing those 1 p.m. guys into animals, dude. Like I'm watching them and I don't know that they quite understand like what Steve is showing them, but I'm like, that's going to serve them so well.
When it clicks,
yes.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So, and then you got, the kids classes, obviously, that is I'm so in love with the kids class right now because I'm looking out and it's just, with the exception of a couple, it's just a bunch of kids having fun playing.
Having fun.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. And they're learning some stuff along the way too. We try to be as regimented as we can. But I really believe that as far as self-expression goes, I believe that jiu-jitsu is one of the greatest forms of self-expression you could possibly watch. I can look at kids and be like, that's a thinker. That's an overthinker. That's a pretty aggressive kid. That's an artist. That's an innovator. And watching them develop. Just with the stuff I'm teaching, it's kind of like, and I don't want to take away, like you said, that imagination, that their mind going. I just want to add to it. Like I just want to give them something that they can play with. And anyway, but the evening classes, that's that's more of my. I hate to call it like hard-nosed people, but those are people that have been working all day and they're sacrificing.
Respect to those guys.
Yeah,
Respect.
and they're sacrificing time away from their families so they can get some training in. Like you said, respect, much respect to those guys. And it's funny because like, you were saying there was one time where you were like, hey, coach, you said you got to talk to your evening guys because the mats were kind of dirty this morning. And I'm like, all right, I'll talk to them. Every class tells me that. Every class is like the last class doesn't do as good a job as we do, and God dang it, they better do a better job. But I love that. I love how it's almost like a competition. Like we do a better job than they do cleaning the place up. So I love the different personalities that we have as classes.
No, and I used to hear that from Elijah, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, that in Jersey there was a name. Oh, those are the Elijah guys. So another funny story. The school from where my professor got his black belt, Elijah, where he got his black belt, they would do some open mats. And some of our color belts used to go. I never went. And the black belts and brown belts, they wouldn't roll with Angry Dave or Barkel or Gene.
Really?
They wouldn't. After they had some tough rounds, oh, do you want to go now?
Of course, yeah.
And at the time, they start talking about the personality. And now for me, as an instructor, I'm starting to see that. And I'm starting to even cultivating that thing on my students.
100%.
I want them to be the guys known by, they don't give space. They are close. They are always under pressure.
Yeah.
That's the D guys.
Yeah.
And going back to Caio and Vitor, and the name of the school it's important until it's not. What really makes the school, it's the students. It's the environment that the coach created. The coach is there to create that environment.
Yeah.
But then it's about us, the students.
Yeah.
That's what makes the school.
100%. Yeah.
So when, like for anybody that is looking for a new school, look for the name, but that's not the driver.
Right.
Yeah. You have to go and feel the vibe.
Yeah.
And if the vibe resonates with you, resonates with your values, your morals, like the people that it's in there, try it for a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there is a tribe for everybody out there.
100%. Yeah.
And in the same school, you'll have different tribes.
Yeah.
For me, morning at CTA, our tribe was just outstanding. And with Vitor as a coach, he doesn't know this, but once I open a school, because I want to open a school, but I don't want to be the owner like you teaching.
Right.
That is going to be the guy teaching it.
Yeah.
Vitor is going to be my guy.
Nice.
He's going to
He doesn't know it yet.
He doesn't know it yet, but it's going to be like 50-50. But Vitor, you take care of, you do whatever you want with the, because Vitor is just, as a human being and as jiu-jitsu, I don't know which one is better.
Yeah.
He's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So humble, so nice, and technical, sound.
Yeah.
And he breeds all of that Caio teaches, but then he has his own touch to it.
Yeah.
That is just outstanding. So now at CTA, every promotion that is coming, I'm ready for what? My purple belt.
Right, of course, yeah.
But when you go to a school, new school, you should know how promotion works.
Yeah.
It's not that you are going to ask your professor, when's going to be the next promotion? It's know how promotion works. How many class do you need for a stripe? What they are looking for the next belt. I didn't do that. Because with Elijah, we didn't have no system to track. He sees you, because then it's a small school, you're going to be promoted as he see fit.
Yeah.
Oh, today you're going to get your blue belt.
That's pretty much how it worked, right? I mean, yeah, you just show up one day and like, oh, hey, everybody's clapping. You're like, what the hell?
And you are really surprised.
Yeah.
But now schools are so big, schools are business, and people need to be motivated with those stripes and promotions. So 6 months in, we have our first promotion. I'm like, okay, it's coming. Oh. No.
You already had your purple rash guards?
No promotion.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the next one is coming. No promotion.
Whoa. Okay.
And now, because I was close to my purple. 2 years?
Yeah, you should be right there. Yeah.
No.
And as much as you were training.
And
yeah.
So I have 9 years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I never stopped training.
Right. Yeah.
Then I talking with the guys. Oh no, for you to be promoted, you need to be tested by Caio. You need to do the curriculum fundies. People, you need to know the moves. So you need to be invited. That's when you're gonna be promoted. If you are being promoted. Oh, wait a minute. Then why I'm not being called? I'm destroying people.
Yeah.
So basically, this is, I think, is a school policy. When you get there from a new school, you need to know their moves.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So my blue belt journey has been wiped out.
Ooh, yeah.
Imagine when I joined Resist Mesa, you didn't wipe me out.
No,
you didn't start me over.
No.
I was start over. So
Ouch.
now was another 2 years.
Oh, that's rough.
Every promotion that I'm not, don't roll with me during that week. Don't roll. I have something to prove.
Yeah.
I have something to prove.
Yeah.
And wasn't even like, it's like it's all funny. Don't worry about the belt, but when you are putting your time and effort, you want to be recognized.
Sure.
Let's not
Yeah.
be naive and say, oh, don't care about the belt. No, it does matter.
Yeah.
It's the recognition of your hard work, of the time that you are putting in.
Yeah.
And for me, now I'm like, I'm destroying X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z are getting purple, are getting stripes on their purple. Why I'm not getting them? All right. Okay, let's go. You just got yours. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Bang. Dude, I was mean.
Yeah.
That week after promotions, don't roll with me. I had something to prove. Then finally, I'm invited to finally go test. Oh, then I don't get it. Oh,
you didn't pass?
You are using too much strength.
Okay.
I'm using too much strength. Okay. Then I have another guy that tested with me. Oh, Felipe, you are being too flexible.
You're too flexible?
There are things that are native to the person.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
There are things that I'm going to be doing it. Like even the way that you and me, we roll is very similar.
Yeah.
We use our pressure. We use our strength.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Felipe was very flexible. So he doesn't need to move his hips in a way. He just put his leg.
I hate those guys.
Oh,
they're so talented. They're so, yeah, I hate those guys.
Yeah. I wasn't one of those. So
neither.
I need to compensate with something else.
Yeah.
Okay. Then finally, different promotion. It's coming up. Week before COVID shutdown.
Oh, no.
That is a promotion.
And they shut the F down.
Oh, yeah, F down. This is the first one.
Yeah.
This is the first one. And in Cali, it was even worse, right? Okay, so now promotion's coming. We lined up by color belts. The first 4 guys on my right, they all got promoted. They jumped me. And the person next to me got promoted. Now I'm cursing. Now the mat is packed. I'm not even looking anymore.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to hang up my belt. I'm done with this crap. Dude, I'm done.
Blue belt for life.
Blue belt for life. I don't know. I don't know what I got to do.
Yeah.
Final picture. We ready to bow out. Oh, wait a minute. We got a belt, another belt. But I'm not listening anymore. I'm blacked out.
You're just pissed.
Hey, D. Over there, they call me Dede.
Yeah.
Hey, Dede. Dede. You getting your purple belt. Huh? They have done this before.
They did it on purpose?
They used to do this. And I said, I will never be caught on this. So whose idea was this? Victor.
I hope he listens to this because this is a great story.
In Portuguese, o cabrão apanhou. O cabrão apanhou.
What does that mean?
Cabrón, like in
Like
Spanish.
asshole,
Cabrón.
yeah.
Asshole.
Yeah.
The asshole cut. He got me good.
Yeah.
He got me good.
Yeah.
Then week before, COVID shut down.
Wow.
So even if I didn't get it on that day, I was in a blue belt program at this point.
Yeah. You would have showed up as a blue belt here. Probably.
Pretty much, yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So now would be from 2018 to 2021, 2. I started here, too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. That's scary.
Oh, wait a minute. Not 2018. I'm lying. 2016.
2016. That's right.
I got in 2016.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That's a long time.
Yeah. Then COVID. Nobody's training.
Yep.
And then for me at the time, then my wife was pregnant. We were doing some hideout people going to the gym without nobody know.
Everybody was.
I was invited, but I was like, I want to go, but
You got a pregnant wife. That's different.
I don't know.
Totally different.
And at the time, we didn't know what COVID was.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Didn't go. Then I got my purple. Okay. Now I don't have to worry about stuff. And
Yeah.
now the weight on my shoulder, it's gone.
Yeah.
Now I'm having fun.
You know, and the thing about it is, like, people are going to say, oh, you know, just get your belt when you get your belt. Don't worry about your belt, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, like, there comes a certain point where you're like, dude, I've kind of put in my time. You know what I mean? I've done everything you asked. Like, you know, Henry Gracie said something that, you know, he's not a very popular guy in certain circles, right? Because, I mean, whatever. But you can't argue with some of the logic that he uses because it just makes sense. And he said, you know, jiu-jitsu is very, I hate to use the word arbitrary, but it's very much subjective to what the black belt wanted, right? And that, in my opinion, that put black belts in a very unhealthy place. It made them something they're not. We are not anything other than just guys that didn't stop doing jiu-jitsu. That's all we are. Mm-hmm. That's all we are. There's nothing magical. Some black belts are just amazing athletes, and they do such incredible things on the mat. But get to know them. They're just a regular guy who know that they have insecurities, and they have, you know, some of them are afraid of the dark, right? But they're just regular people. And I think having that kind of, call it power, mm-hmm. over people can be, it could go into a dark place if you allow it. The wrong person has that kind of power, right?
And I saw in different schools that messing up with people.
Yeah.
People putting the time and not being seen. And the bigger the school, the more that will happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like heartbreaking to see people putting all of the time and not being seen. And before you know it, they are quitting because they were not seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a pity.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. And what Henner said is, like, imagine, D, you go to college, right? Mm-hmm. You got your master's degree. But you start college and your professor says, just keep showing up and one day we'll get you a degree.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how long is that going to take? Oh, I don't know. It could take 10 years. But just keep showing up and you know, and keep paying. And someday we'll tell you when you're ready. Mm-hmm. You're like, well, time out, bro. You realize I'm paying, right?
And I just learned with Patrick when we had the picnic.
Yeah.
Muay Thai, Taekwondo, all of those sports, you pay for your testing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that in Jiu-Jitsu also, in some schools.
Some schools, yes.
I didn't know.
Some schools, you buy your belts.
You buy your belt, you are paying for stripes promotions. Mm-hmm. Then if you fail, and then you're paying for belt promotion. Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, so I looked at some of the other structures out there, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Other models, and not my thing. But hey, they're successful. God bless them.
For the business, it's amazing.
They're doing whatever they want to do. But let's say you have belt promotion coming up, such as yours, mm-hmm. right? Invite only, and you have to do certain things in a curriculum, right? And if you mess it up, you don't pass, right? And then they give you another date to test. Mm-hmm. But if you want to get a little bit better at the techniques that you failed, the same person that failed you will give you private lessons. so that you can then take the test again.
That's genius.
And pass or fail, and you pay for the test again. So what I tell my students is like, yes, you're buying your first gi and your first belt, and that's the last belt you're going to buy. Because I was brought up where your professor, your coach, presents you with your next belt. You don't buy it.
I always thought that was a way.
Yeah.
Until only 2 weeks ago. And I've been doing this for 9 years now. Really, Patrick? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was in Cali. And it was in some big schools.
Yeah. And I'm not shitting on them. Hey, man, and some people need that structure. You know what I mean? And some people need no structure. Like there's some, like for example, Proving Ground MMA, Ruben Vargas, good friend of mine, awesome school, killers in there. They've been doing jiu-jitsu for years. And I think Ruben was the only blue belt in the room. But they all trained together. They all did no-gi. And they're savages, dude. I mean, the women in there, the men in there, they're so good. But they never cared about belts, and they didn't care about promotions. And then when they got under Paul, they started getting promoted. And like KT, do you know KT, brown belt over at Vargas?
No.
You will never forget him if you roll with him. I think he's 36 years old, and he still wins at adult level. Ooh. Yeah. So KT, brown belt, probably was rolling at a brown belt level 5 years ago. I mean, he's freaking good, but it's just one of those things. They didn't need that structure, but then when they got it, they flourished. That school is amazing. They have so many good people. And because they had that core that didn't care, the people that are flocking into the place are kind of like-minded. It's not that they don't care, but they're like, yeah, I mean, if they're willing to suffer through it, so am I. I thought that was really cool. I thought that's really cool. But for the most part, people coming off the couch, and the traditional martial arts teach us, like, if you show up, you get this, right? But they also teach us, if you show up and you pay, you get that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a paradigm shift when you walk in, and I tell you, you're not going to pay for promotions here. I don't know.
Yeah. And even Patrick asked me, how do we do it here? I was like, no, there is no paying. Even the testing for me, I think we had this conversation before, and personally, I don't like it. I don't like it because there is an extra level of stress that is being put. And even for me, when we were testing was with Caio, and most of the time Caio was not even there, our instructor was Vitor.
Yeah.
And now, for me, if I'm failing that move, it really means that I don't know my craft.
No, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
And testing and failing comes from where again? Where did we start? School system.
School system, yeah.
And it's bad.
Yeah, like memorize and regurgitate these things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that, yeah.
If the kids were really trying to learn for the sake of learning, like even a few days ago, I was telling my wife, if I was going back to school right now, I wouldn't try just to finish school. I'll try to understanding it.
Yeah.
But now, if you are putting people pressure just to learn and be ready for the exam, and in jiu-jitsu, no. Let them roll, see how they are doing.
Yeah.
You have more than enough time to see how people are doing.
Yeah.
In their regular environment, you are their coach. You are seeing it every single day. What they are missing, what they are not missing, then is your responsibility as a coach they are missing some details on armbar. They are missing some details on pulling guard. They suck at standing. It's your responsibility.
100%.
If they are failing, you are failing them as a coach.
I 100% agree with you. And there are times when I sit there and I think, I'm a lousy coach. Right? Yeah. Because not just adults. I'm pretty good with adults. But when I teach kids and they're just not getting it, it's not the kid's fault. I haven't figured out how to communicate with that kid yet. Right? And I need to take the time to understand like where the kid's coming from. And it doesn't take much to understand that. A couple minutes talking to them, spend some time with the family, with the mom or dad, and you can kind of understand like why they're doing what they're doing. But there are times when I don't like to take credit for anything, right? I really don't. But when a kid nails it, I'm like, your training partner did an amazing job, right? Or the kid has been, putting in the work. It's never like, I taught him well. I'll joke around like, hey, whoever's coaching is doing a hell of a job. But, but the reality is if the kid applies themselves, they can flourish. And if you take I want to call it the Montessori approach, where you forget about the what and understand the why.
The why, yeah.
You're really going to do well. But that's another layer of delayed gratification that you're going to have to live with. Because the what's easy, right? If I can get you on your back, the what is good. But how did I do that? And the next time when it doesn't work, what happened? Why didn't it work? Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's what you got to figure out, right? That's how you dissect things. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Then giving some props to the system that they had there, like you need to know the fundies. The good thing that I would like was for all the belts, the test was the same.
Oh, that's good. At any level.
Any level.
Wow.
Then when you were going from brown to black, you'd have to teach it.
Yes.
Now what they would be evaluating you is how you teach it. But like we had...
Genius. I love that.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Yeah. That was a
and that's a conversation you and I have had.
Yeah. Because, again, has the good side of it as the black belt that needs to know how to teach. Then you have the downside where it's not on the black belt. It's not on the person's system. Be a coach or be a nice coach or know how to. You have some great competitors out there that they just know how to execute.
Yeah.
That
it's a feel, like a read and react kind of thing. Yeah.
They know how. Then you put them in the coach's shoes or professor's shoes.
Yeah. And
things can change. And then if you are evaluating somebody to get their black belt, only and exclusively on how they teach things, cannot be 50-50, I think.
Yeah.
You can put some weight on it, but other things, if it's not in their personality, has to come up.
It goes back to self-expression.
100%.
It's the perfect. I'm telling you, man. That when I started looking at it in those terms, it made me a better. It made me a better student. It made me a better coach, all around. Because it's like it's the most beautiful method of self-expression because you're using your entire body. It's not a pencil. It's not a paintbrush. It's like you. Like your whole personality comes out in your role.
And is you yourself.
Yeah.
One of the things that I also like with Jiu Jitsu, when I used to do soccer and when I was comfortable in being the guy, give me the ball, I will dribble all of these guys and I'm going to score. When I wasn't the guy and I was in teams where I had better people, I would hide behind them. And only now for the last 5, 6, 7 years, I adopt a different way of being and take ownership and being the guy.
Yeah.
And even when you put me in the spot to start teaching, that really helped me being the leader.
Yeah.
As growing up, most of the time I was the follower.
Mm-hmm.
But jiu-jitsu, you got to be the leader.
100%. Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah.
You cannot rely on XYZ on your team to bail you out of this situation.
Yeah.
And it's where team sports is very important. But when you are on your own, it's really important as well. Because in life, you will have both things. Times where you can rely on a team, and you should. But a lot of the times, first, you got to rely on yourself.
Yeah.
Then you can rely on the team. Then when I start jiu-jitsu and okay, it's just me, myself, and I have to be good at it.
Yeah.
It's just, nobody's going to come and save me.
That's it.
And then when I start to learn to trust on myself and on my skills and being comfortable on my own skin, I start flourish in other areas of my life. And even after starting teaching, now I'm getting very comfortable talking. I hate to talk in public.
Really?
Dude.
Are you serious?
100%.
And so being the coach and standing in front has helped you overcome that?
Big time.
Oh, that's so cool, man. Yeah.
Big time.
That's so cool.
I hated like doing presentations. Even in the year that I did my master's, now I have to do a presentation for the full school and directors and professors. I hate it. I was just sweating was bad. Then even initially, I'm like,
I have such a hard time picturing that. That's funny.
Yeah. It's like I'm an extrovert, but most of the times I'm an introvert.
Wow. Okay.
If I don't know you, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
If I go to a party and don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
No kidding. That's wild. Man.
And being an instructor as coach at Aries Mesa,
Yeah.
that helped me big time. So
Yeah.
I'm really grateful to you because it's been helping me so much for other areas that I'm going to be carrying it with me. Even now talking here, be comfortable, being a public speaker, helping people, being a coach, all of those things has been helping me drastically.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because, you know, you said, you know, the opportunity you got to be an instructor at Aries East Mesa. I hate to use the word manifest, but it's too real for me not to use it, because I remember I was exhausted. I was so tired. And I was talking to Amy and I was just saying, man, if the right person could just walk through the door and I could hand them, because 6 a.m. is my baby. That's my baby. So if I could just hand them the 6 a.m. class, it would free me up to do a lot more things, because getting up at 4:30, teaching, and then, you know, cleaning and blah, 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 and then trying to change gears. And then I got another class to teach and all this other stuff. It was too hard. And I thought, if I could just find the right person. And then you walked in. And when we first met, I was like, okay, about my size, you know, I'm going to roll with him. Right. And then I think you and I were the first roll. Was that your first roll?
Was the last
roll. That's right. First day.
First day.
Roll. Yeah.
First day, last roll.
And then we rolled and we went. I was bloody, I think, after that round. It was awesome.
It was war.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then I was like, man, that's a cool dude. And then you joined the school. I was like, awesome, right? And then one day we were talking and you were like, how do I get to that next level? And I was like, man, teaching is the best way. If you want to get to another level, start teaching. And then I was like, the right person just walked in. And that's when it hit me, right? And the reason I say that is because, you know, I have a whiteboard downstairs where I just draw stuff on. And I literally wrote out what my expectation is for my kids coach, if and when I find one. And so funny. But I realized the other day I was sitting right next to him. I know who it's going to be. I just have to groom them. I just have to help them get to that level.
You remember what we spoke about designing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's exactly what I did.
This goes all to the beginning of our conversation, knowing what we want.
Yeah.
And give it to our subconscious mind, and things will happen. Most of the time, we are spending time on, I can ask you what you don't want, what you don't like, and you're going to give me a list.
10 things. Yeah.
100 things.
Yeah.
Easily. Then I ask you what you want for your life. 95% of us, we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we know what we don't want.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
If we start focusing on what we want and starting designing what we want in every areas of our life. You wanted a 6 a.m. coach, you designed it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's use the cliche word, and you manifested it.
Yeah.
You designed, you manifested it. So there is a saying, spec. You select, you project, you expect, and you collect. That's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
You select what you wanted. You expected it. You selected, you projected it. You expected it to happen.
Yeah.
And you collected it.
Yeah.
So if we start designing what we want in all areas of our life, like pen and paper, I want this to happen in my life. In every areas. And you did it. And it worked like we spoke before.
So far, man. So far, I'm telling you, it's crazy, and it's not a passive thing. That's the thing. Like, you can't say we didn't stop at like if the right person.
No.
Amy's like, what's the right person? Well, he or she has to be this, and he or she has to be that, and they have to believe in this, and they have all of those things that are important to me. Mm-hmm. You have. The hardest part for me was to have my ego say it's his class now. Right?
Yeah.
It's incredibly difficult, more difficult than I can explain.
I didn't know that part.
Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. But like when I go there, like when I go to your class in the morning, like, gosh, man. First, I feel like bait because everybody's like, oh, coach is here. We're going to give him a good run. You know what I mean? And I'm just a student at that point, which I love. But, you know, I don't want to say it's a like, what are you doing here kind of vibe, but it's like, this is Dee's class. What are you doing here kind of vibe, right? And I love that. I love that they've become like your students. They become your little tribe there. And I'm a guest, man. All I got to do is show up and train. I don't even clean the mats. I just leave.
I love to have you there. And in the beginning, that imposter syndrome was
huge.
Real.
It's huge. Yeah.
And you know why it was even huge? So now I'm in Arizona.
Yeah.
Then in Arizona, Aries and CTA had something going on.
Yeah.
Let's call it beef.
Let's call it bullshit.
Bullshit. Not be bullshit. Because now everybody's best buddies.
Yeah.
So that was like the first school that I'm not going is Aries. So you
Are
see,
you serious?
I'm coming. I knew I was coming to Arizona in November of 2017.
Yeah.
Not 2021. I came. I saw a house. I'm gonna living here. Okay. So there is an affiliate that is Jay Pages from CTA. Okay, so that is
Awesome guy. Love Jay.
no brainer. I got already school, price wise perfect. And I know I spoke with Vitor. He gave me a list. He put Arizona. No, Vitor. Aries, no. Come on. No Aries. No. Then I go to Jay, but time wise doesn't work.
Gotcha.
I enrolled there. Amazing price.
Yeah.
Jay is amazing on the price.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
And he's a cool dude, man. I don't know if you know Jay personally. Awesome guy.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was
awesome
really like even the professors, the people over there.
Oh yeah.
Was awesome.
Yeah.
I really
Did you meet Gabe and those guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid dudes, man.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
I love those guys.
At the time I think Gabe was a brown belt. Roll with him.
Tough, dude. For a little guy, tough.
Jeez. Yeah. But
yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
But the time wise, because I was like going after work, that shit will not work.
Yeah.
Because then I have to pick up my daughters in Gilbert, and they are all the way in Tempe.
Oh gosh. Okay.
But I work in Chandler.
Yeah.
So it would make sense. I said, okay, nope, doesn't work. Then I went to JD. One thing that I didn't like with JD, I could only do one trial.
Okay. Okay.
One day.
One day, and then you make a choice. Yeah.
Then you got to make a choice, or you pay for it for the other days.
Gotcha.
I was like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Cross.
Yeah.
Then this is after I already signed up with Jay.
Jay. Yeah.
So
you were just trying to work your way closer. Basically.
Then I was like, okay, now I need to find something around. So JD was in the early beginnings, even before going to Jay, just to see other things. I never ended up going to Marcio because at the time it was very close, but then I didn't go. Then after 1 month and just going 3 days to Jay, my wife was like, dude, why don't you look for something closer here? I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Then I can go in the morning before I go to work. Because even in my head, initially I was like, I'm going to go to Jay at 6 a.m. So I would go from Gilbert to Tempe, Gilbert, then Gilbert to Chandler to work.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, that would not work either.
That's not going to work, yeah.
Then she said, she's so wise. She's like, find something closer. Then I went to Roots.
Nice.
They had it was a brown belt. I never been taught by a brown belt.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you were spoiled.
Right?
Yeah.
Then I go there and I'm like,
2 legit black belts teaching you.
I was like, what is the black belt? Hey, when does the black belt? Oh, they only come in the evening.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. Then I rolled with them and it was okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't destroyed. I was destroying most of the people. I was like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it not being taught by a black belt. And I don't like it. I'm not being the nail.
Yeah.
Okay. At this moment, I'm like, screw this BS that they have. There is one near me. Aries East Mesa. Spoke with Deborah at the time. Spoke with her. Scheduled. Showed up. great vibe, great environment. Then last roll was with you.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. That was like when I'm signing.
Yeah, awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah.
Then the rest is history.
Yeah,
the
man. No, it's been a good run. It's been a really good run, and I feel like we hit a rough patch earlier this year, but
we needed it.
Yeah, we definitely needed it. Yeah, and now the people that we are being surrounded by are just amazing. I mean, that group we had on the mat earlier today for coaches training, bro.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different. Everybody, and here's what I love: like, no one is afraid to just say their piece. Like, even something as simple as like, hey, we're going to do a guard pull, right?
That's where it started.
And we had 4 different guard pulls going on. Yeah. And then like, what about this and doing that and doing this? And then I think collectively we really complement each other because we're so different, right? And the diversity of skills, I believe, is going to be our biggest strength because, you and I, very similar.
Very similar.
Steve Benton, very different. And
I haven't had... I didn't go to his class yet.
Yeah, it's good. And then you got Patrick, who he's like 6'6". He's going to give you a very different look, right?
With 10 years of teaching experience.
Yeah. And then Carlos, is like for a 240-pound dude.
He moves like a 150.
Right,
dude. So last week he came to my Fun Friday class.
Yeah.
Fun Friday. If you guys don't know, it's just Fun Friday. You roll for 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Show up,
awesome.
guys.
Yeah.
So we are standing. I go for his back. I grab his belt. I go with my foot on the back of his knee.
Yeah.
To buckle him down.
Yeah.
Dude, all of a sudden, I'm feeling somebody. I think he did that to you.
Backflipped on you.
He was about to backflip on me.
He did that to me.
I stopped. I was like, Carlos, were you going to backflip on me? He said, yeah. But
are you out of your mind? Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah. I'm just a 240-pound guy, and I can. I was like mesmerized.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you should have done it. Would have been my jiu-jitsu highlight career.
Oh, dude, he did that to me, and I just balled up and covered my head because I thought he was going to land on me, but he didn't. He landed like in side control. Yeah.
Side control.
Yeah, he like backflipped, but he threw himself like at an angle, and I'm like, oh, crap, and I cover my head. Next thing you know, I'm flat on my back.
Do you got the video on that?
I don't think I do. No.
Jeez.
No, I wish I did. But he's so agile, and he can submit you from pretty much anywhere. So it's
don't give him your foot because then if he's going for toe holds,
yeah.
Carlos, I hate you. Just to let you know, I hate you.
Yeah, and we have Jerry. Jerry's teaching the fundies nogi, and he has a childlike curiosity that I love. Because he's like, what about this and what about that? He's like, he's very eager to learn, and I don't know. I don't think he's intimidated because he's been around us long enough. Mm-hmm. But he's like, he's pretty new to the whole coaching thing. So he's like a clean slate. We just kind of teach him stuff, and then he adds his little spin on it. I love it
because he's kind of new in jiu-jitsu, but he's coral in. Real fight. He can dismantle you like we have no idea.
He'll beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. And more seeing him open up, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
What if was a person? What if would be Jerry?
I love it. Yeah. What if? Yeah, man. Yeah. But no, I'm really excited for what the future brings, man. And these next coming weeks, it's gonna be a little hard because it's hard to get into a rhythm when you got holidays coming up and then people leaving town and doing all that stuff.
But if you see, there is always something.
Yeah.
4 months ago, we had in the morning average 16 to 20 people.
Yeah.
There was even a day we had 25.
Wow. Nice.
In my head, we going for 30.
Yeah.
We're going to go for 30. Before you know it, we are down to 12, tops 14. Yeah. I'm like,
where the hell is everybody?
Juice.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Where is everybody? It's this, it's that. It's cold. It's the time change. It's the sun that is not out.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, stop with that. They're just not here, period. You guys
Yeah.
are here. Because then now we would say, it's Thanksgiving. It's
Right.
the holidays.
Right.
It's New Year's resolution. It's
Yeah.
always something.
It's always something.
It's always something.
Yeah.
Then you have that hardcore group. Like now we are hitting at 14, 16, always the same guys where people when go to the 6 a.m. morning class, they go for an awakening.
Oh, for sure.
Or they
yeah.
go for an awakening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because training in the morning, besides of having killers in the morning, there is an awareness of your body that needs to be awake. That if you're not really used to it, it's an awakening. Sometimes you take like 3-4 rounds to get in.
Get in. Yeah. Yeah.
The guys that go every morning at 6 a.m., they just have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Now, also goes against you when you go in the evening.
Yeah.
When I train in the evening, my body is not ready.
Yeah. And that's something that's something I learned in competition. Because if you're a 7 p.m. person and then you got a competition coming up and your competition's at 10 a.m.
Ooh.
Right? 10 a.m. Like your body's just different at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? So it's difficult. It's very difficult. So yeah, I can see that. There are times when I try to simulate my day. Like if I have a 10 a.m. Match time, back when I used to train in the evenings, if I have a 10 a.m. match time, I would kind of wake up like crazy early and start my day early. So at 10 a.m. feels like 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
almost, you know, getting up like that stupid early. And that's how I'd kind of overcome that. But it's really hard to be an evening, a person that trains in the evening and getting up at 5 or 4:30 to make a 6 a.m. class.
It takes a few weeks, if not months, for you to really get used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, I don't hear that much often people getting ready for competition in the different times that they are training.
They don't even think about it.
They don't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
well, in their defense, sometimes it's really hard because the bracket comes out the same week.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
So that's hard.
But if you are a competitor, you should be training morning, midday, evening, because it helps your body to be
100%.
ready
Yeah.
at any time. But now if you are a hobbyist, like majority of people that we have, they're hobbyists and they just training at evening and they will fight in the morning. At 10 a.m., they should start trying to do even the 11:30.
Yeah, the 11:30.
Connor,
class.
you see? Colin, you see how nice I am? I'm talking about the 11:30 class. You see how nice I am? So they should go to the 11:30.
Yeah.
Because 6 a.m. is total different ball game.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Yeah.
But if people want like some nice awakenings at Friday, 6 a.m. roll for 50 minutes.
Dude. Yeah. Dude. Yeah. And I was told that when you covered one of my evening classes, you did a fun Friday.
Oh, yeah. I do it.
But you didn't tell them the length of the matches.
Oh, no, I changed it.
Every single round is different.
One of the things that I've been doing lately is when you are ready to roll for 6 minutes, you know that you're going to roll for 6 minutes. Your body's adapted to 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I did when I started the Fun Friday was let me increase until we do 10 minutes rounds.
Okay.
People were, we can do hard things.
Yeah.
And when you roll in the 10 minutes, it's long, but you can take your time.
Yeah.
You can be lazy with your setup. And for us masters, 1, 2, and 3, and so on, takes time for us to get in the rhythm.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes is perfect.
Yeah.
But then most of your matches sometimes is 5 minutes.
Yep.
So now you got to do 3-minute rounds or 4-minute rounds.
Yeah.
And go.
Yeah.
And your cardio, it differs.
Yep.
If you need to go fast and catch something in those 4 to 5 minutes, it's completely different than the 10 minutes, 7, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So lately what I've been doing is I put the clock for 3 rounds of 5 minutes. Then I go and I change to 8. Then I change it back to 3. And that was exactly what I did on one of the last Fridays that I taught. And people were, it was so cool. It was
Yeah. So
It was amazing.
I had a conversation with Samir Chantre about that. And I asked him, like, because he started doing Masters pretty recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked, like, was it a hard transition going from a 10-minute round to a 5-minute round? He's like, absolutely.
It's completely different.
He said 5 minutes doesn't play into his game because his game's, he didn't call it passive, but it's slower.
Slower.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now what he does, similar to what you're doing, he sets 3-minute rounds and he has to win every round.
Every round.
Every single round he has to win. So that's a smart play on his part because sometimes, man, it'll take you 2 good minutes to set up your guard.
Yeah.
And then if you screw it up,
Gone.
you're done. You're done, right? So yeah, so that's a good strategy. Well, listen, man, we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have to get my butt up to pacing because my son fights tonight. But
That's true.
yeah, he's up. He's on a card. I can't remember the promotion, but he fought on when was it? Oh gosh, my birthday, October 28th.
Oh,
Yeah, he fought and won in 42 seconds.
Oh, I think I saw on your Instagram.
Yeah. And then so he took another fight.
Oh, he
just-
didn't got no damage, so he was ready to go.
Yeah, but take your time, man.
Why?
Because I'm his father and I need a break.
Like they say, young and dumb.
Young and dumb. Yeah.
Young and
yeah.
dumb.
I love the kid, man. But no, the thing about it is this is the first thing that I've seen him do and really commit like completely to it. And I hope it like builds on into other things in
Other
his
things.
life, right?
Mhm.
I mean, if he wants to stay in the fight game for a while, cool.
If not, cool
If not,
too.
yeah. But this has taught him a lot of discipline, a lot of accountability. You know, he trains over at Power MMA and he shows up. So
And those are the 2 words that should be used: discipline and accountability.
yeah,
It builds up for anything else.
everything.
Everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not about like the, how you call it,
The instant gratification. Yeah,
or the other one that today you have, how you call it, when you wake up with some drive, but it's not
motivation.
motivation.
Yeah, I hate that word.
Yeah, it's about discipline.
Yeah, yeah.
Discipline. With discipline, you can do whatever you want.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just that word, discipline, and then you have accountability
yeah,
on yourself
Yeah.
without nobody else telling you to do things.
yeah,
You are set to become unbeatable in whatever you do.
yeah. And one thing that I think it was Alex Hormozy that said this. He's like, stop the mental masturbation. Stop making lists. Stop prepping to do stuff. Just go do work.
Just
Like
do
if you want to be a better runner, put your fucking shoes on and go run.
Yeah.
If you want to do better jiu-jitsu, show up to the next class. Like find a reason to just show up. No, don't. It's good to have a plan, but sometimes you just have to get in there and do work.
And sometimes on that to-do list, you have 3 things, no more than
No
that.
more than that. Yeah.
3 things.
You know what I realized? I'm not that important that I need to get 10 things done in a day. Right? I got to get 3 things done that are
3
super important. That
3
are gonna
things
be like,
that's going to
move me
move the
forward.
needle.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the day, just another tip before we go. Every night, your 3 wins of the day.
Yeah.
And now you're going to write the 3 wins that you want for tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Start doing this every single day. And now, even you had a very crappy day, but you need to find the 3 wins of the day. Then you say, now I'm going to write the other 3 things of tomorrow
Love it.
that I wanted.
Yeah.
You might achieve it or not, but at the end of the day, you will have your 3 wins that might be entitled,
Intertwined.
intertwined
Yeah.
with what you wrote,
Yeah.
but doesn't need to be. But you are setting the stage of your day tomorrow.
Along those lines, real quick, I know we're going over, but my old boss, my former job, he gave us this. Oh gosh, what's the guy's name? I couldn't stand his voice, but he was like along the lines of a Jim Rome, Tony Robbins kind of guy. Daly, Darren Daly. Darren.
I love Darren.
I can't stand his voice, but I love his message. Don't get me wrong. I love the message. I can read his stuff, but his voice. Ugh. So,
Darren Daly.
So the Darren Daly, right? But his last name isn't Daly.
No,
he
Hardy,
did like a Hardy, but he had a Darren Daly
show.
Yeah,
That you still had.
okay,
Yes.
I got.
Yeah,
But
Darren Hardy.
So he was really big into that, and he bought a sales team of like 18, like the 12-week program that he does. Like he bought it for all of us, and with it came a book, right? Like a journal. And this journal took you through like, you know, where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, and, you know, what to build on. And then you write down your goals, you know, for the, anyway. So salespeople being who they are, they sat there going, oh, that's great. Never did anything in the book. Right. But I was like, you know, Brian bought this. He's a cool dude. I'm going to go ahead and do this because I'm supporting my manager. Right. And I wrote down, I got through all the way to where you write down your 3 goals for the next quarter. Right. Close the book, never looked at it again. Right. I did my part. And then we were having our quarterly sales meeting, and he wanted to see our progress. And I'm like, oh, shit, I better go look at the book. Do you know I accomplished the 3 goals in that book that I wrote down and never thought about again?
Yeah.
There's something to it, man.
There's something to it.
I accomplished the 3 goals, and I took it to him, and I said, hey, I'm going to do this because this is what happened. And he goes, I'm telling you, man, it works.
You were already designing without knowing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's simple things that all of us can do.
Yeah, it's within our power, right?
It's within our power.
Yeah, so that's really cool. All right, man. So I definitely want to do this again, man. This was fun, and we should probably get a couple more coaches in here. Just talk trash. We'll talk shit about each other in front of each other this time. But
Colin, you suck. I'm just saying.
You know what we could do? We could take all of this stuff and put it outside, and I can probably put 2 or 3 more microphones on this. And we can have a bunch of us on this thing.
That sounds cool.
That sounds awesome, right?
Let's do it
in the backyard. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Dee, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate everything you do for the Academy. For me personally, you're like my counselor, and I enjoyed it, man. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. And let's keep rocking.
Yeah. Let everybody know where they can find you on social.
So D_Cardoso_AZ. I will even start to be more active because we didn't have time to talk about my side gigs, but
yeah.
My wife currently is doing digital marketing, but I will be starting doing it myself, and I'll be talking about stocks, fulfillment by Amazon, talking about real estate, commercial real estate. Right now, I'm really involved with commercial real estate. So that is so much that I've been through. That is so much experience that I have that I will be starting to post like daily. I'm even gonna start a competition with my wife.
I love it.
In 1 month. Which one of us is gonna reach out to $30,000 faster?
All right.
Yeah, and just doing digital marketing.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the results, and we'll definitely do this again. We'll talk about that stuff. Yeah, 100%. I definitely want to talk about entrepreneurship. I'm just short on time today.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
All right, everybody. If you love the podcast or if you hate the podcast, I don't care. Just please give us a review on Amazon, Spotify, on YouTube, all that stuff. Any comments? I've been enjoying the comments lately. They've been positive, they've been negative, but I love them. Thank you guys for the feedback. I want to thank our sponsor, Biopro Technologies. Biopro is a way to increase your human growth hormone and not have any needles stuck in you or anything like that. It's a very natural way. I take the morning and I take the evening, the quarter sleep, I believe they call it. And I'm telling you, there's something to it because I just feel amazing like all the time. So Biopro Technologies, check them out. Use the promo code Foxcast and get $30 off your first order. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
All right.